by November of 1776, the euphoria slowly turned to despair, as the British mounted a number of brilliant offensives that saw Washington outmanoeuvred or defeated in one battle after another. His battered army found itself in a continual fighting retreat, as they abandoned New York, Rhode Island, and Long Island. Morale all but collapsed. Washington had made several tactical blunders. Soldiers fled the field, and the army dwindled to fewer than 5,000 men. On top of that, enlistment expiries were pending at the end of the year, which was expected to reduce numbers even more drastically. Lacking rations, fuel, and decent winter quarters, the army had retreated inland and was anticipating complete annihilation at their next engagement. During this time, Tom put down his quill and picked up a musket, volunteering to serve as aide-de-camp to General Nathanael Greene, and he witnessed firsthand the dwindling spirits of his compatriots as they retreated in the face of superior, professional British and Hessian infantry. Recognizing their impending doom, he was moved to write a series of 13 essays, compiled into a volume called The American Crisis, late in 1776, with the sole aim of boosting morale. Contrasting themes of civic virtue with that of provincial selfishness, he encouraged the army to take comfort in their righteous cause and historical significance. It opens with the iconic paragraph, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered, yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated." General George Washington was so moved by these words that he had the essays read aloud to every regiment of men in the army while they huddled in their rags, freezing in the relentless winter. The British, meanwhile, had settled into New York for the season, and all throughout the state, Loyalist activity, confident of imminent victory, now surged, causing a very real fifth column that threatened to derail the entire campaign for the Patriots. A number of historians have credited this booklet as instrumental in stemming desertions, as well as boosting re-enlistments in an army that hadn't been paid in months and was literally on the point of starvation and freezing to death. Indeed, as Christmas approached, patriotic fervour instead now swelled, such that Washington was inspired to take the initiative, and he crossed the Delaware on Christmas night. So on Boxing Day 1776, he engaged the complacent Hessian mercenary garrison at Trenton and, overwhelming them, took 900 prisoners. A counterattack by British General Cornwallis a week later, on January 2nd, 1777, was repulsed by another creative surprise attack of Washington's on his rear, in a second substantial American victory, further boosting morale and having the additional effect of convincing French observers that the Americans were actually worth supporting.